All right, drum roll, please. Just hours from now, voters are going to start heading to the polls in 8 states in the United States of America, including California, which political watchers believe could determine the control of the House come November because there's so many interesting races going on in California. So under the state's rules, the top 2 candidates advance to the general election regardless of party, meaning both Democrats and Republicans could be shut out of key contests. Kayleigh McEnany is the RNC spokesperson. Kayleigh, good to see you tonight. There is so much going on in all of these states across the country. California is fascinating. Tell me what you're watching there.
You're right, Martha. It's a fascinating state to look at because, as you mentioned, this is a top 2 vote-getter system. So in 3 congressional districts, there are so many Democratic candidates vying to become their nominee or to advance in that top 2 vote-getter round that basically they could be shut out, and we could see Republicans who have a smaller field advance. And, Martha, what is so astonishing to me is that the Democratic Party is getting involved in bullying some of their candidates out of the race and using really harsh tactics. And I had to fact-check this with our regional team because I couldn't believe it when I read it, that you have one Democratic candidate in the 48th district saying party officials came to me and said I was too brown to win here and had to leave the race. It's astonishing that they're sinking to that level.
Who is that?
That was Congressman Omar Siddiqui. Omar Siddiqui, a former FBI advisor who is alleging this against Democratic Party officials in the 48th district. It's incredible.
I mean, what is he doing about that? I mean, is he fighting that? That's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been saying it loudly. It's only been picked up by one source, the Washington Examiner, but I've confirmed it with the RNC that he is saying Democratic Party officials have told him this, but no one is covering it. They're using race baiting and tactics like this to bully out candidates. It's astonishing.
It is astonishing. And what about Representative Ed Royce's seat, which is open? That one's being called the weirdest race in the country. Why?
Oh, it's very weird, especially because you have Democrats that are fighting so intensely that the state party chairman, the Democratic state party chairman, convened them at an Italian restaurant. And what was described as a Godfather-like dinner said, we all need to come together and make peace because we're hurting ourselves. So this is how vicious it's gotten. They're having to convene at Italian restaurants and make peace.
Well, we hope it doesn't turn out like The Godfather. In terms of the money that's being spent by the Democrats, I mean, they're in danger of going bust in California. They've dumped so much money into this, right?
That's right. There are 10 seats that they've spent a combined $30 million. We've spent just a fraction of that. And here's the thing, and this is Politico reporting. It's true. We can confirm this at the RNC, that our candidates are equipped with millions of dollars, most of them, when they come out of these races. But to avoid this top 2 vote-getter system, Democrats are wasting all their money, and some of their candidates are next to broke. So they've got a lot of trouble. And the DNC is broke, by the way, too. So
what about the RNC in California in terms of holding on to some of those Republican seats? What's your outlook?
Well, one of the things we're really looking at is this sanctuary state law. It's really taken California by storm. You see more than a dozen districts rising up against the state government saying this is not something we want to tolerate. This is going to be a key hot-button issue for us. We've already seen Kevin De Leon. He's challenging Dianne Feinstein. He's fallen in the polls. He's the author of the sanctuary state legislation, and we think that that's hurting him, and his fall in the polls is illustrative of what's happening statewide.
Going to be fascinating. What about Montana? Because we all remember the president kind of going after Senator Jon Tester there during the whole Ronnie Jackson thing, the White House doctor, when they wanted him to be the head of the VA. He really impugned his character, and they had a battle over that, and the president was tweeting about it, as everybody remembers. What's going on there?
Well, it's interesting because Jon Tester, it's funny, he's voted against nearly all of President Trump's policies. Let out his first campaign ad, Martha. His first campaign ad says, I can put on 2 hands the number of bills that I got President Trump to sign. He wasn't with President Trump on tax cuts, wasn't with President Trump on keeping the government open or any of his other key legislation. Nevertheless, he's touting his record with Donald Trump, and now he has a Green Party challenge, and he's fighting that in court. So he's in a lot of trouble, Jon Tester.
Fascinating to watch. Kayleigh, thank you very much. We'll be watching tomorrow night.
Thanks, Martha.
Okay, so coming